Beneath bright sidewalks, something waits. Cities look like one clean layer, one ground, one story. But that's the trick. Old layers stay. I've chased storms and filmed inside tunnels for years, and I learned this simple rule. Cities build up, not just out. Hundreds of cities rose on top of older streets. Rome, Paris, Mexico City. Many are honored by UNESCO because their layers survive underfoot. One editor from Archaeology magazine put it bluntly. Beneath the bustling streets of Paris lies a haunting relic of the past, the remains of more than 6 million people. That feeling, it changes every walk you take. Here's today's plan. We'll tour 8 hidden worlds under modern streets. For each one, I'll show the cause: fire, flood, war, or route changes. Then what's still there, and how to see it the right way. Only use legal tours, follow guides, respect fragile stone and bone. Want to peek from home? Many museums share great digital models. You can explore without breaking a single rule. Speed to value. Hundreds of cities were built atop older cities. Every city has layers to find. And now, we start strong. First up, number 2 on our list, Paris's underground burial labyrinth. What hidden secret under your city would you most want to see? Number 2 is Paris, the city of bones. People stroll above cafes and lights, but below it turns dark. Not a legend. Real tunnels. Real bones. Archaeology magazine says the network runs about 300 kilometers and holds the remains of more than 6 million Parisians. That line still chills me. Here is the story. In the late 18th century, crowded graveyards began to fail. One collapse near a cemetery wall pushed officials to act. Inner-city burials were banned. Night after night, carts rolled through Paris, moving bones into old limestone quarries. By the early 19th century, workers stacked skulls and femurs in careful rows. Some victims of the revolution rest there. Lamps, plaques, and tight turns mark the way. This is the city's tough fix for a health crisis. Move the dead, make the streets safe, reuse the quarries. Today, a guided route shows a small, legal slice of the maze. The rest is off limits for good reason. Fragile, dangerous, and protected. Respect it. Walk lightly. Proof that cities build up, not away. Bones became walls. Streets stayed alive. That was number 2. Next, number 1 is stunning in a different way. A buried Aztec temple under a busy plaza in Mexico City.
Number 1 takes us to Mexico City's heart, the Zócalo. It looks modern and grand, but beneath the crowds lies the Aztec capital's great temple. In 1978, electrical workers broke the ground and hit a massive stone disk of the moon goddess Coyolxauhqui, more than 3 meters wide, about 2 meters down, and weighing about 8.5 tons. That find kicked off years of excavation. From 1978 to 1982, a team led by Eduardo Matos Moctezuma uncovered layers of the Templo Mayor. Crews cleared more than a dozen modern buildings to reach the temple's core. They pulled up around 7,000 artifacts, serpent heads, clay offerings, carved skulls, proof that the Spanish city was built over Tenochtitlan's sacred center. In 1987, a museum opened right on site, so you can stand where the temple stood and see what survived conquest, rubble, and time. It is inspiring, not grim. A buried capital, brought back to light. Tickets are usually around 100 Mexican pesos, and the complex sits inside a UNESCO World Heritage District. Plan ahead, go with official staff, and take your time. Layers rise, empires fall, stones remain. Next, number 3 dives farther back into late antiquity, an underground water palace beneath Istanbul. Number 3 is Istanbul's Basilica Cistern, a cool echoing hole where columns hold up a silent lake. You don't walk into a church here, you step into water history. Built by Emperor Justinian in the year 532, right after the Nika riots, this vast cistern fed the Great Palace and later the Sultan's needs. The scale feels unreal, about 138 meters by 65 meters.
Around 9,800 square meters of floor, about 80,000 cubic meters of water at capacity, 336 marble columns, many recycled from older Roman sites. 2 of those columns stand on carved Medusa heads, one sideways, one upside down, old art repurposed to serve a new city. The Valence aqueduct brought the flow. The cistern kept the reserves safe in siege and drought. Over time, it faded from outside memory, though locals still drew water. A scholar wrote about it in the 1560s. Then, in the late 20th century, the city restored it. It reopened to visitors in 1987, received more work between 2017 and 2022, and now it gleams again. Water hides well. Cities hide better. Number 4 shows Rome stacking faith and homes in one place, church on temple. Number 4 is Rome, and it is pure layered magic. Above you, a 12th century basilica. Below that, a 4th century church. Below that, a 1st century Roman house, and a temple for the cult of Mithras. Rome did not erase its past. It built right on top of it. In 1857, Father Joseph Maluli started digging under San Clemente and found the lower church. Keep going down, and you hit the ancient street level, roughly 16 to 20 meters below today's floor. After Nero's Great Fire in the 1st century, rubble became fill. New walls rose over the old ones. A 6th century baptistry waited down there too, with marble floor and faded frescoes still holding color. I remember the feeling. Cold air, the smell of damp stone, and the sense that time is stacked like a layer cake. 50 steps, and you pass centuries. Each rebuild saved what came before by burying it, not breaking it. Quick pit stop before we push on. If these hidden worlds hook you, tap subscribe to Crazy Top 10 so you never miss a wild countdown. Now, back to the tunnels. Number 5 moves to London, where elegant stations went dark when the city's routes changed. Number 5 is London, where the tube map has ghosts. Not fake ones, real closed stations with real stories. Aldwych Station, once called Strand, opened in 1907. Low ridership and high costs finally shut it in 1994. The tilework still gleams, the lifts still feel vintage, and film crews love it. On special days, London Transport Museum runs hidden London tours, and you can walk the quiet platforms. Down Street is different. It opened in 1907 and closed in 1932. Then war came. During World War II, the space became a secret bunker for key officials, including Winston Churchill. Imagine the rumble of trains above, while meetings shaped the city's survival below. There are more sealed corners, Brompton Road, parts of King William Street, but the message is the same. Transit shifts, and beautiful spaces go silent. If you go, only book official tours. No shortcuts, no trespass. Full stop. Blueprints change. Platforms sleep. History stays. Number 6 heads north to Scotland, where a bridge created hidden vaults that slipped from memory and then came back to light. Number 6 is Edinburgh's South Bridge. On the surface, it is traffic and shops. Underneath, it is arches and rooms. Vaults built right into the bridge when it opened in 1788. At first, these spaces held workshops, taverns, and storage. As the 19th century rolled in, people squeezed in. Damp walls and poor air turned the vaults rough and risky. By the 1840s, subsidence and fumes made life there unsafe. Many chambers were filled or sealed. The city moved on. Then, in the 1980s, crews reopened sections. Guides from groups like Mercat Tours showed old ovens, pub marks on the walls, and everyday objects from a forgotten undercity. This is the pattern we keep seeing. Build up to solve a street problem, and the gap below becomes a hidden world. If you visit, go with a tour, listen to the safety brief, and watch your step on uneven stone. The chill down there is real, and so is the history. Arches above, darkness below. The bridge never left, the vaults just slipped from sight. Number 7 glides across the ocean to New York, where the subway's most beautiful early station went dark but not lost. Number 7 is New York's Old City Hall Station, a jewel from 1904. When the city opened its first subway line, This terminal stunned riders with curved Guastavino tile arches, brushed chandeliers, and glass skylights that once poured light onto the platform. It felt like a small palace for commuters. Then the system grew up. New cars got longer. The tight curve at City Hall could not handle the length, and the gap became unsafe. In 1945, the station closed. For decades, it sat untouched, except for rare inspections. The details remain: the mosaic signs, the graceful vaults, the fixtures frozen in time. Today, the Transit Museum sometimes offers guided visits. It is not common, and it sells out fast. But the tours prove a simple truth: transit moves on, yet the old design still breathes under the city. Beauty ages, trains change, the station stays. Number 8 lands back on the West Coast, where Seattle lifted its streets and left whole sidewalks underground, hiding in plain sight. Number 8 is Seattle, and this one flips the idea of a basement. In the late 1880s, after the Great Seattle Fire of 1889, floods and messy grades pushed the city to raise downtown streets. Through the 1890s, crews lifted the grid by roughly 10 to 20 feet. Buildings at the old level became basements. Sidewalks at the old level became tunnels. Walk the legal tour in Pioneer Square, and you will see it. Brick walls, wooden beams, and purple-tinted glass blocks in the ceiling. Those are prism lights from the 1890s, once set in the new sidewalks to send daylight down to the buried walkways. Old storefronts, now under the curb, still show doorframes and signs from the first rebuild. A local writer, Bill Speidel, helped popularize the tours in the 1960s, and the route keeps the story alive. The rule here is simple: book a spot, follow your guide, respect the limits. These spaces are city heritage, not playgrounds. Streets rose, shops sank. The city kept moving, and that wraps our countdown of 8 hidden worlds under modern streets. We just unlocked 8 places where cities didn't erase their past. They buried it and built on top. Fires, floods, riots, route changes, and big plans razed the ground, sealed old rooms, or shifted whole lines. Bones stacked in quarries in Paris. A temple rose again in Mexico City. A water palace slept in Istanbul. Rome layered churches over a home and a shrine. London closed stations as the map evolved. Edinburgh hid slum vaults in a bridge. New York shelved the jewel of a station. Seattle lifted streets and left old sidewalks below. That is the big idea: urban layers. Streets change, but the past stays. If you want to explore, choose legal tours, follow safety rules, and treat every stone and story with care. Many museums post great videos and models, so you can visit without a plane ticket or a hard hat. If you had to pick one, which hidden site would you tour first? I want to hear your story. Thanks for watching, and if this ride made your next city walk feel like a treasure hunt, hit subscribe to Crazy Top 10, drop a like, and share this with your crew. I'll meet you under the next city.